Today's Rams-Giants game proved to be a big boiling cauldron of beef, and it appeared to hit a boiling point today. I should preface this by saying there's a few other stories of feuds that all make this big tangled web of a story that all accumulate into the pot overboiling into the ugliness that was the game. This isn't exactly a rivalry because neither team are after the same thing, but it's worth mentioning the beef and how it came to be within the past decade. Right off the bat, let me just take the four participants being Devonte Freeman, Jalen Ramsay, Golden Tate, and Aaron Donald. I guess I could start with a minor, unrelated story in regards to the Rams and Giants in which Alec Ogletree tried to deck Odell Beckham after a late hit. But I mean, that doesn't hold its weight in beef as much as I thought it would, considering the two kind of buried the hatchet when Ogletree got traded to the Giants a couple years ago. But the present feud, I think, just involves Golden Tate versus the Rams in general. And I mean, right out of the gate, he was drafted by the Rams' deadliest rival, the Seahawks, in one notable rivalry matchup on Monday Night Football in St. Louis between the Seahawks and Rams. After torching Janoris Jenkins on a catch, Golden Tate decided to flash his buddy the one-finger salute as he ran into the end zone. Way to stay classy, Golden. 3 seasons later, Tate would face off against the Rams again in Detroit, and decided to show the whole world how much he loved torching their secondary. Albeit, it was kind of deserved. Jeff Fisher was just a terrible coach. Anyway, as time went on, I mean, there really wasn't much of note to signify a feud between Golden Tate against the Rams, other than those two moments, till we enter Jalen Ramsay. Now, I don't have to go over the massive signing that made him the highest paid cornerback in the league and how much it's put the Rams in cap hell. I could go on for hours. But more importantly, it's Ramsey's mouth and his reputation for being quite a bit of a trash talker within the NFL itself. Just ask the likes of the Bills and AJ Green. This one actually really gets personal. It kind of hits home for Golden Tate. But anyway, his sister Rihanna was actually engaged to Jalen and had 2 children with him. They broke up in September of 2019. You see, Ramsey in October began dating an exotic dancer out of Las Vegas by the name of Monica Giovanna and took a few indirect shots at Brianna on Twitter for really no explained reason. But take it from me, man, looking at how that worked out for AB, like, come on, dude, that's not cool. Anyway, rightfully so. I mean, Golden Tate took this quite personally, and I honestly don't blame him. I'll get back to Golden in a little bit, because
here comes the next contestant!
Now, Devonte Freeman's beef with the Rams is kind of spotty at best. There were some minor examples, especially from 2016 and 2017, where he actually torched their secondary and got a few rather dirty penalties and touchdowns on both sides. But, I mean, I guess he's only notable as hatred by Rams fans for the 2017 NFC wildcard. Until you look at the 2019 matchup between the Rams and Falcons inside Megatron's butthole. Sorry, I mean Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Anyway, Freeman wasn't too thrilled with a tackle by Donald and decided to throw a few punches at him. Donald subsequently picked him up like a baby and robbed him of any sort of intimidation. All of this stirred up in the pot, combined with the fact that the Giants came off a really ugly loss to the 49ers C team. They literally gave up 36 points to the likes of Nick Mullins. Like, that's just embarrassing. So I mean, rightfully so, you could tell the Giants are a pissed off team trying to do all they can to stop from being a laughingstock of the league. And that, ladies and gentlemen, are the ingredients to make a nice beef in the form of probably one of the ugliest defensive struggle games I've ever seen. Yeah, it was a good defensive showcase on both sides, but God, that was such a terrible game. There were some notable moments I might point out that the media probably hasn't covered just yet. There was the notable tackle from Ramsey on Golden Tate, which looks like Ramsey just studied this from the WWE, but I'll give him props to that, because that was a nasty-ass pile driver right there. And again, after another play, Freeman decided to rekindle his old feud with Donald and egged him on, subsequently with Donald throwing a few punches at Gates. Honestly, by this point, the only thing uglier is the gradient on the Rams' numbers on these uniforms. God, just get them off, you suck. Anyway, after the game, both benches cleared, and it was supposed to be a moment of unity between the two teams as they greeted each other after a nice, hard-fought defensive battle that was as ugly as the Rams' uniforms. Ramsey and Tate decided to have another one at it, and this time, both benches cleared into a rather large swarm of angry football players, kind of reminiscent of when Jim Caldwell and Jim Harbaugh cleared the benches going into the tunnel and got into a massive fight. And that, my friends, is what puts to bed the ugliest game of the season so far. No, I take it back. Titans-Broncos was just as bad. Anyway, if you enjoyed this miniature update and my content and my little podcast every Monday and Wednesday, feel free to smash that like button and hit the subscribe button. Do it. Like, go on. Anyway, thank you.